Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
Hey, I'm Cole, and I'm playing Olrun Dawnseeker, the Black as Hell ASMR Warlock Paladin.
I'm Megan. I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
Hello, I'm Eric, and I'm playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Mars. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout.
And I'm Kez, and I'm going to be playing Treasure Glitterhoof, the Tiefling Fighter.
Awesome. Announcements. I don't know. Say hi to our friends over at Norse Foundry. We like them. We give their stuff away at times. They're good people. They have
It's
cool
Schrodinger's
dice.
announcements.
Metal dice. So big fans of them. Check them out. Also, A to Z Monstrosities has been continuing. We made the stats for Bloodburner were put together, as well as a mythic encounter with Bloodburner. So we'll see if maybe our friends here run into that. Someday soon. We'll see. Also, we've been working on some different shows. I'm gonna try to put some more polls out on the on the Discord. Apologies, I am slightly off this evening, so hopefully everything will go smoothly. We did get to play some tabletop sim with one of our patrons. We're going to try to be doing that once a month. We played DC Deck Building, the new one that just came out.
The new one?
Yeah, Death Metal. Dark Knight Death Metal. With
From
the
the Dark
Batman
Knight's
who
Metal
laughs.
series.
Yeah. It's pretty epic. Yeah. So, good times. Also one of our favorite games. If you enjoy deck building games, DC is a wonderful one. I would check out DC Rebirth because there's a campaign to it, and that was it's a really cool kind of setup for it. So, check that out. What else is going on? I don't think there's anything else that is springing to mind. You guys have any announcements going on? Head shakes. Cool. As always, check out Kez. She does wonderful art for us here on the stream. Kez, are you filled up on commissions for the holiday season?
I am not, but I've only got a couple of spaces left.
So, all right. If they want one, where do they go to find that for you?
They can look me up on either Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Critical Kez.
Cool.
Or if you don't want something custom, but you're looking for something quick because maybe you got to get something for somebody, which, we got all those Secret Santas and lots of birthdays coming up, then you can just go straight on to Redbubble, also under Critical Kez, and just find something maybe for your favorite DM or your favorite Paladin or your favorite Goblin.
Nice. Yeah. And our store is up to date too, and we're going to be doing another order of the sold out Chaotic Adorable pen. So that's going to be exciting. So, and I'm trying to get Caitlin to design a whole alignment series of like Lawful Savage or Sexy Evil or I don't know what the other one. There's something good.
Sexy, and frog.
Yeah.
And
Werefrog.
Werefrog, exactly.
Werefrog.
So yeah, those are all fun things. Please check those out if you have the opportunity. And thanks for joining us. Let's get into our adventure, shall we? Oh yes, Eric, go.
Sorry, I completely forgot. I said this last time, and y'all said I should say this every time. My fiance is doing a wonderful YouTube channel making content for music educators who are trying to find content in this wonderful time. It's called Ready Go Music. Make sure to stop on by, check it out. She just got the ability to be monetized. She just hit everything for that, 4,000 subscribers. So she is doing great.
That's
She's loving
fantastic.
it. So definitely, if you got some music teachers who you know who might be looking for some content, throw them over there. Ready Go Music. Great content over there.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations to her on getting monetized on YouTube. That's great. And yeah, please, guys, check her out. Okay. Let's get into it, shall we? Our adventure takes place in the lands of Lickdracht, a land bereft of gods, a land of myths and legends, where fate is written in blood. Our heroes are members of the Magnus Exploratorium on their way to the Forge. They stopped off in 4 Point Farms, tooled about there for a while. Good times were had, bad times were had also, and they explored an ancient underground biodome, gene facility. I don't know. There's no good fantasy term for freaky science magic. But with most of the threat, the main threats, seemingly put to rest, they have begun to venture forth away from 4 Point Finds, further into the west. And you guys are officially making it across the map borders, because I can only put so many hexes on a map at a time. So congratulations. You guys had initially left, if I'm not mistaken, Apex, then is Champions. You were in Exalted. So I think we are into Dusk. Yeah, and then it's Dusk, Mask, Savages. So we'll say it's you guys are leaving on the 3rd of Dusk from 4 Points. I think that covers it. The caravan left before you about 10 days, 10 or 11 days before that. So they have a bit of a head start on you guys, and you know that they are planning on venturing across the Great Grassland Plains that stretch between 4 Point Farms and the Blood Gulch River. The Blood Gulch River is a large, a massive river that stretches between north to south throughout most of Lickdracht. It is a major thoroughfare for all the previous empires that have dominated Lickdracht, the most recent one being the Hobgoblin Empire. Many of the roads that led to the east to west, have been destroyed through a variety of reasons and purposes, or at the very least they are poorly maintained. So traveling along these western plains is more difficult than the journeys that you guys have made thus far. Is there anything in particular you guys want to do before you set out from 4 Points, or anything you want to do in the early stages of the travel?
Has Screebers handed out all my necessary reimbursement gold to the farmers whose land has been devastated by kaiju coming out of the ground?
Yes, yeah, that has been taken care of. But you guys probably spent a day or two with him running around to some different 4 Points and making those allocations. Let's go ahead and say it is 100 gold worth of farmland and lost crops and reparations that you guys are making to these farmers. And that also helps the people that were being attacked by Kruthix and Iron Cobras and Bronze Scouts and all of those sorts of things that had happened also before you guys. So.
And that's out of my personal goal.
Okay, absolutely. Good to know. And then if you guys want to, we'll go ahead and say impartial payment for your heroics and the efforts that you made to protect 4 Point Farms. You guys are resupplied for the journey for free, traveling out of here. So no additional costs coming out. They are mostly farming communities. They don't have any great wealth or magic or anything along those lines. You guys did. You guys were. You got to keep the potions, whatever you got off of Burns' cart, although he does retain his cart because it's his. And but he doesn't make a big deal out of the things that you guys took off of that. You worked for it, so that stuff is absolutely yours. Yeah. So you guys are setting out across the plains. You have. Are you traveling to Vloden Narvakt or Vloden Sravakt? That would be the northern watchtower, or of the Blood Gulch River, or the southern town of.
Well, we're trying to get to Velxer's Teeth, so I think we go south. Yeah.
That if you are going to search for Olorun's sword Dawnbringer, then you want to go to Velxer's Teeth. Yes.
Is that the plan? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're going
I think
Vloden
so.
Stravikt.
Okay.
Sounds good. You guys set out to the southwest, across the plains. They are vast flatlands. Occasionally a hill or two, but they are Central Florida hills at best. I'm not even talking like the Panhandle hills. Those are like a Panhandle hill. You're like, oh, I'm going uphill. Well, look, I come downhill. No. I'm talking the will get drowned with rising seawater portion of hills, right? And so the sightlines are broad. They're easy to see. But the grasses are high. There are plenty of times where there are things in the grass hiding in the roads. I would like one person to roll me a percentile, please. Everybody would have a percentile ready, because those are going to be they're going to be something we dig into tonight, as that's how I make a lot of my random determinations or stuff.
Percentile. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I already got it rolled.
Good. What you got?
6.
A 6. Okay.
We're all
Absolutely.
gonna die.
That's
You're-
amazing that you would roll divine intervention like that.
You're not gonna die. What I'm gonna say is probably the first time you encounter this is as you're traveling out from 4 Point Farms. Let's say you're probably right on the edge, maybe 2 days out of 4 Points, and there are no roads. There aren't really any like treaded paths. And as you guys are riding, you have your 3 carts. Who do you guys suspect is driving the first, second, and third cart?
Talroth, Stitch, and maybe Sirach?
Sure.
Because it's Dexy.
I did do fairly well when we were running for our lives from the Drakes. So I will take that. Yeah.
Okay. So Rock, since you are the one that is here, the other guys are driving behind you. So Rock, you're driving that first cart, and I'd like you to make a handle animal check, please.
Animal handling.
Animal
yes.
handling.
Beautiful. 10.
A 10. Okay.
Yes. 8 plus 2.
Nicely done. Okay, so that that barely fails, and what you're watching is that your eyes are out over the horizon, right? You're watching the grasses sort of dance in the wind, the blowing of the breeze, and it's relatively temperate. You've entered into fall, so it is starting to cool off, but not to a point that anything is chilled or anything like that. And you hear the high-pitched neigh of your horse as it begins to catch its hooves on something, and you watch the horse that is pulling the cart just take like a header, and you try to hold on to him, and he ends up sort of tripping and breaking that part of the wagon that like hitches to. And all the wagons sort of stop, and your horse is down on the ground, struggling to get up at the moment.
Oh God, Ambrosius! I wonder if he's okay. And I'll like hop down to kind of take a look at him and like rub the mane, being like, "It's okay, bud. It's okay." But also, let's see what's wrong here and see if I can't discern what happened, what he tripped over.
Make a I'll take nature or medicine. Oh, you want to see what he tripped over?
Yeah, like what tripped him up?
Sure.
I mean, we're making glue either way, but I just want to know what happened.
So making an you don't need to make an investigation check, but what is your investigation modifier?
Yeah, +1.
+1. That's fine. So it takes you a few, maybe a minute or two as you start pulling away at some of the grass, and you can see that here in overgrown, in the high grasses and in the weeds, and partially like reclaimed by the earth, there is an old cart. Looks like somebody that had been. You're not really sure. You only have a 1. With another 10 minutes, you could probably dig it out and see like where it came from. But it looks like parts of a wagon. It's flat. It's low to the ground. It's one of those things that, without the grass there, it probably would come up to a foot or 2 off the ground. They're not very high, but just not something you were expecting. And your horse definitely didn't see it. Like they just clumped into it.
Clippity clopped right in. Hey guys, looks like there's a partially obscured wagon over here. And just start like removing, like how. First of all, is this horse gonna make it?
A medicine or a nature check for veterinary skills.
Okay, medicine.
Can I assist?
Sure.
Thank you for the assist. First one I rolled was a 6. The second one was an 18, which gives me a dirty 20 on medicine.
Nice. You inspect the horse. It looks like his one of his front hooves is a little swollen, bruised, maybe sprained, but not broken. You don't feel any breaks in the legs. He probably can't pull a wagon for a day or 2. But there's no need to put him down. And maybe with like some concerted healing magics and a day of rest, he'll be 100%.
I was about to say, would I be able to, would a spell of cure wounds do much for this boy?
It absolutely will help. Yeah, and if you guys were to like use your spell slots for throughout the day, if you're wounding him every 10 minutes or so, you'd probably keep the swelling down and be able to keep him pulling the wagon. If you committed those spell slots, I would say a cure wounds an hour. Yes.
So can it be me because I get my spell slots back in a short rest? And I do have cure wounds. If you can cast cure wounds with your warlock spell slots, you could. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That way you guys
if
don't have to
anything-
use them.
Yeah, and so that we don't have to worry too much about him, I could literally just swap with him.
See, I'm glad you said that, Treasure, because I was kind of thinking that, but then I thought it'd be rude to say, and so I didn't say it because I'm trying to be better about that sort of stuff.
I mean, it's perfectly fine. If anybody's following us, they're gonna see a set of 4 hooves and then 2 hooves, and it's gonna be hysterical.
Oh.
Olaroon like taps Olaroon taps Tower on the shoulder. He's like, the ass is about the same size too.
I'm just gonna pull another coin out of my pouch and just get it ready.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go look and see what messed up the horse.
Yeah.
Sure. So you guys dig into the grass and it's overgrown. Make a nature check.
5.
5. You think this has probably been here for years. You don't know how long because you got a 5 on your nature check. But it's been here for a long time. And you're like, you kind of look to the left and the right, and you think there's maybe a 6% chance that you would have led your horse directly into this particular cart. As you guys dig through and investigate it, I will say that there is a bit of an elvish make to it. The wood is well designed. It is carved not just for function, but for design and stylings on the spokes of the wheels and the walls of the wagons and things like that. Yes.
Would I be able to try some kind of check, see if it's like high elf or wood elf or what kind of elf?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make a history check.
$14.
Okay. You actually do recognize, maybe not the exact nature of this wagon, but you do recognize the stylings of it. It does have the elvish mark of making from Balcliffe, which you would know was a great elven wood elf city. It's to the south of here. It is about a generation or so ago. The city was assaulted, laid siege to by hobgoblins, and not many elves escaped, and the ones that did were sort of dogged across the continent by hobgoblins on the way. So that gives you a bit of a timeline on this cart, or at least the style of it.
Knowing that, I mean, would it be too much to try to figure out if this cart was leaving or heading towards that city, or?
I'll tell you what, give me a survival check with disadvantage.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So the direction it's faced is sort of catty corner to both, but you suspect leaving. Just with like, there are signs of it having been burned. There are signs of nicks and notches and things like that. So it had a rough road, and it kind of is pointed towards the east. So just a lot of what's going on with it is telling you that it was fleeing or leaving Balcliffe.
Yeah, I'll just relay that to everybody and then just kind of look off into the distance, just kind of trying to map things out in my head.
Sure. Absolutely.
He does the old Christian, like, like look off into the distance. The Captain Charisma.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll miss Christian.
Oh. So that's about all there is for that. And you guys get your stuff together, and between Treasure and the horse and some cure wounds, you don't lose much time. You keep a sharper eye out for the horses as you guys are moving. The grasslands are, like I said, they're still pretty high. The grass stretches up to maybe 2-3 feet, so it can obscure some things pretty low in it. I'd like one of you to roll me a D6, please.
Eric,
5?
it's your cart.
5.
Okay, great. And somebody else roll me a percentile.
Do you want me to do it again, or Treasure's got it?
Better than a 6. Better than a 6.
76.
76.
That's better than a 6.
That's 70
So-
better than 6.
That-
It's also the Fallout game that I've just bought, so it's perfect.
Oh.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, so you guys are stretching out. It's been a few days. You've been keeping your watches up to date. You don't seem to run into much. Occasionally, wild coyotes or prairie dogs, small canines and predatory cats sort of venture close to your camp, but it's nothing that is inherently dangerous, especially not to you guys. Keeping a fire going and a little bit of vigilance goes a long way in keeping you guys prepared, right? A few days pass, and I'd like all of you to tell me, what are your passive perceptions?
15.
15?
18.
18 also.
Okay.
11.
No, stop it. Nobody cares. I mean, actually, that's relevant, but I mean, not to this. Stop it. Go away. News is important. Go vote. Okay. As you guys are moving down the road, Sirach, Ride, and Talroth, you notice the tracks of a wagon that has been traveling across the grasslands. You recognize them as wagon tracks. You also recognize like some hoof prints. Up ahead, we're going to say about 200 feet, because the grass is sort of been cut and trampled where a path has been walked through. Pretty easy to see, but the one thing that seems odd is that it does seem to just disappear. They seem to stop you're looking straight ahead, just to your left, so like 10 o'clock, about 300 feet up. They just seem to kind of end.
Are you guys seeing that?
Yes.
Well, I think it's more accurate what we're not seeing.
Do you want me to fly up and maybe take a look from a higher vantage point?
Can I do an active check to see if there's like a magical barrier or something, or
Sure.
like a hallucinatory terrain, some nonsense.
Give me, make a perception check.
27.
Nothing seems to be magic. There is something different about the grass that is in that area. It looks slightly less green, less well fed, less lively, and a little thinner in that area. There's nothing that's magic, and so from about 300 feet out, other than the fact that the grass is weird right around there, slightly less alive, and a little thinner. That's about all you can figure out without getting closer.
Okay, I will share that.
Do you want me to, like, I can, like, fly over top of the weird grass area, and then I can, like, throw something down, maybe see if something reacts?
That's
Just gonna say, be careful.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna fly up, and I'm gonna grab one of the bottles of ant blood that we have, the Kruthix blood, and I'm gonna start flying towards the where the grass is.
Okay, so you're flying closer. We'll do this in 50-foot intervals because you fly about that speed.
Yep.
How high up are you going?
Let's go 20 feet.
20 feet. Okay, 20 feet from
Yeah.
the ground. So you go 50 feet and you're at 250, 200.
For the first couple, I'd be dashing too.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little faster.
100 feet.
200, 100. You get to about 100 feet. At 100 feet in that angle, you've seen this grass. You definitely recognize the area. You would say there's a stretch of it that is about the width of a cart and a half, maybe two, where the grass, and it is maybe 20 feet long. Grass is a little thinner there. It's definitely thinner. And it does seem to be grayer. The green looks less lively, maybe more painted or something like that as far as green goes. You don't recognize any magical illusions or obtrusions.
Is this just less magical, and is it a painted tarp?
Well, there's definitely grass on top of it, but it might be some form of camouflage or tarp. Absolutely.
All right. So, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna lower myself down to about 10 feet off the ground, and I'm just gonna be like, hello, anybody there?
I'm gonna take a shower.
I'm covered in blood. I need help.
Just start dousing myself with the truth.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay, that's a 17 with my -1 for persuasion. That's 16.
Okay.
Remember, kids, just because it's your dump step doesn't mean you can't try it.
Sure. There's a pause, and then you begin to hear metal. The subtle clanging of metal. You recognize it. You've often heard it on Treasure or Olaroon. Sounds like heavy armor. People in heavy armor. And so about... How close did you get?
I was probably, so I came down, I'm 10 feet in the air. I'm probably only 10, maybe 15 feet away. I got pretty close.
Okay. So there is about, yeah, so I'd say another maybe 10, 15 feet from you. There is like there's like a ramp exit of this. And yeah, it is a camouflage sort of tarp. The grass kind of rolls back. And you hear the lock and step footsteps of these hobgoblins in heavy armor, shields, and they march out 2 by 2. The first 2 with shields up, swords at the ready, and the ones behind them with javelins and crossbows. Look like heavy crossbows and shields on their backs, and you guys now, as they start to march out, at a distance, you can see people just sort of appearing out of the grass, doing essentially the look at me, I'm coming up the out of the grass, basically, but for real, they're not just bending their knees. And there is, at the very back of the line, in not only a position of prominence, but clearly based on the slight gold trim and the ribbons on his armor, the fringe on his armor, there is a leader of sorts. And he'll cast his gaze back over to you. And who is this?
Hi, I'm Sirach.
What an introduction.
Yeah. Haha. Pop. Yeah, we're on our way to the Blood Gulch River.
Are you?
And yeah. And as we were on our way, we noticed some tracks. And we were like, well, that's interesting. And then those tracks led to where you were. But it was weird because the tracks just kind of stopped. And I'm just going to let you know, that is some fantastic camouflage. I'll give you a little hint, though. The grass is a little bit thinner. It kind of made it look weird. And that's kind of what we kind of like eyeballed on that. And it, yeah. So we were just like, I wonder what's going on over there. And lo and behold, it's friends.
Oh no, he did not just do, hey look, we're friends now.
I appreciate your candor. Tell me, are your friends as luxuriously armed as you are?
Oh, here we go.
And you see his eyes cast to the blades of House Ilrain that sit on your hips.
I mean, if anything, I wouldn't even call them my friends, really. I mean, they're just travel buddies. I mean,
we are
at
friends.
best, we're friends,
Right.
yeah. But them, I'm just traveling with them. They barely have anything on them.
Sirach, you need friends that can recognize your special value.
Cool. What? You know what? I'm just now realizing I said my name. I didn't even ask what yours was. So what's your name?
Groko.
Groko. Groko. I like it. It rolls off the beak.
Come inside,
Groko.
Sirach. Let's
Well,
be friends.
I love that idea. But also, can I bring, like, the rest of them?
Your acquaintances? No. We're not friends with them. We're friends
Not
with
yet.
you.
But what is a friend? What is an acquaintance but a friend you've only just barely met for a week?
I'd say the difference between a friend and an acquaintance is... And he looks past you. About 300 feet.
Ah, so this is one of those sorts of things.
Doesn't have to be.
Oh, but I think you want it to be.
Come inside, sir.
Okay.
And I'm gonna step in.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm going to strategically stand. I'm only going to go in 10 feet.
Okay. So you I drop my d20 and you fly down towards the ramp. You get 10 feet down it underneath the cover. You guys watch as Sirach disappears into the grass. And as you look down there, Sirach, you can see there is... It's not big. There's a wagon. There's a couple of horses. Larger breed of horse. And in the back, looks like they have some gear, armor and arms and such like that. And the soldiers stay up there, and Groko begins to make his way in behind you. He gives you a 5-foot buffer sort of between you and him. And Sirach,
Yes, Groko.
I appreciate your willingness to participate in these friendly interactions. So, let's make our business brief but well known. You've come across our land. Your swords will make good payment.
You know what else would make good payment?
He waits.
Payment.
Such as?
Gold, silver, gems. Heaps of payment that you can pluck from the very bags. So, let's talk like businessmen.
Sirach says, leaning against the side of the wall.
Okay. Thus far, make a persuasion check for him.
Nat 1.
Well,
So with my -1, that's a 0. I rolled an actual 0.
you rolled
on
a 3
D&D.
with a +0, so you know what? He still
Oh,
wins.
I was so able to beat him, and that's not the case.
Yep. No, Sirach, I don't think so. One doesn't come across blades finely made as that, unless they are either capable or have capable friends. So,
Aha!
I won't be risking my men's lives today, when you can simply give me the blades and walk out of here with your feathers intact.
So, if I'm getting this correct, it's either the blades or you're gonna take them from me.
Yes.
I really don't think there's anything I can do in a situation like that. You've made a bargain that's a bit too difficult for me to strike down.
And Sirach will very slowly place hands, not like correctly as you would take to fight with the blades, but place his hands on each of the pommels and unsheathes the blades, and then casts Zephyr Strike.
Okay. I would like you to flip for initiative.
9.
Should the rest of us flip or?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's gonna take us what 5 turns of dashing to get over there.
That's
Oh,
if we
don't
even know
worry.
something's wrong.
It's gonna take me 3 turns to get to you guys. Watch this.
How many? You know what? We'll just go in order.
Okay.
That's fine.
So, everybody that is not Sirach, go ahead and make me a perception check at disadvantage.
– 13.
Okay.
17.
Nice.
Oh,
23.
That's a 6.
Okay. There's nothing for you guys to perceive as being off yet. Although I'll say Treasure and Zoraide, your eyes are quite keenly and
Talroth.
ears are.
Talroth needs to ride.
No, Treasure rolled a 17. Talroth had a 13.
My bad. I
And
thought you were
Zoraide
going
had a
with
23.
passives. That's my apologies.
No, you're good. It's all good.
Yeah, the sun kind of reflected off Treasure's ass and it blinded me for a second.
What can you do, right?
Ba-dum-bums.
Audible distance. Normal noise. I found these very fun charts in here. So the normal conversation that they are having can be heard up to about 50 feet away. You guys are at 300. However, when they start making loud noises, it'll be audible up to 250 feet away. So.
But we are 300.
You are 300. Well, we'll see. I'll roll again when they start fighting. So we'll move through the initiative. Sirach, you are. What did you have?
So what I did, as I was holding the blades, I cast as a bonus action, Zephyr Strike, which
Okay.
is a ability of the blades,
Mhm.
and I move like the wind until my spell ends, and it's concentration up to a minute. Your movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity,
Okay.
and I am going to just movement and dash
Mm-hmm.
my way, flying for 100 feet, moving, just bursting like a bat out of hell out of there and like straight up and out
Okay.
and back towards everyone.
And back towards everyone. So you. You have 10 feet. Your speed's 100 feet.
50 feet when flying, yes.
50 feet when flying. So with the dash, it is 100 feet. So you get about 90, call it 80 feet once you get out of the tunnel and up and around. 80 feet back towards him, you guys see Talroth burst up and out of the thing and come flying back at you guys. Talroth, what card were you on?
Sirach was on
Sirach.
a 9.
On a 9. So we'll pick up at 9.
And then also, as he is flying through the air back towards you guys, if you've ever seen the movie Rockadoodle, all you're going to hear is the Chanticleer Rockadoodle as he's like flying away.
Okay. So all of you were above a 9. Is that correct? Okay. So, on a 5, the hobgoblins, the commander gives a shout in Hobgoblin, and the guys with the crossbows are going to take some shots at you. So that is apologies. It's gonna be 4 people, and you're within their range. Oh yeah, absolutely. And let's go ahead and do this. 14 and 18 with a +5 to hit, so 19 and 23.
Yes.
And
they'll both hit.
the 8 is going to miss, but the 22 should hit
Okay.
also. And,
Yep.
And there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Yep, so that is 3d10. There we go. I have a bunch of those. Look at that. That's why I picked that. Sometimes I do things smart. 19 points of piercing damage as 3 crossbow bolts whiz into the air. You guys hear the heavy snap of the strings rattling against the bent bow, and the thunk of them flying out and them slamming into 3 of them slamming into Sirach. New round.
What a waste of a queen.
Oh, I redraw the 2. 8. Bad guys are on an 8. So, that gives us Talroth on the ace.
So Sirach's about how far away from us right now?
220 feet.
Hey, Screebers, you might want to hide.
No response.
He's been gone.
Hey, just got to make sure. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe we caught it before he did this time. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kick my hood over, get a bow ready, and just wait. Just.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. The after Talroth on the ace, it is the bad guys. There are, I said there were 8 plus the commander, right?
4 plus the commander, I believe. You said 2 walk down with shields, then 2 walk down with the heavy crossbows, and then the commander walked down.
I apologize. So there were some more people behind them. They walked out like an order. I just described
Okay.
the first 4. I apologize.
My bad.
So that's, you saw those 4. 2 more guys come out with crossbows. The guys that have the shields and swords disappear back down, and the commander comes out. So you guys can see 4 of them plus the commander. And he gives the order for them to reload and fire again. So, same number of attacks, same target.
Bring him on.
20 is the lower on those 2, and natural 1 is going to miss, and 16.
Just hits.
16
Armor class
just hits.
16.
So three hits with that. That is 17 plus 6 for 23 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And that is no. They never mind. Doesn't matter. They have a thing, but it wouldn't have helped them at this point. And you see they're not making any movements towards you at this point. So after the bad guys, it is Saride.
How far is Sirach from me?
220 feet.
Excuse me. Okay. I'm trying to do some math here, which is so fun. I'm going to move
Okay.
30 feet.
Okay. Are you jumping off whatever cart you're on?
Yes.
Okay. So you go wading through the grass.
Yes, and then I will face step 30 feet.
Okay. So you've traveled 60 feet. That puts you at 160.
160.
Yeah, 220 minus 60 is 160.
Cool. I can't move anymore.
You can dash for an action.
And I've already bonus.
You bonus action phase step.
Yeah, he's about to fall out of the sky. So I'm gonna bonus at. Don't you shake your head and pish-tosh me, you dipshit.
Give me a minute. Give me one round. Look, I can't tell Sarad what to do, but
No, you can't. So she is gonna bonus action dash to your stupid fluffy solo ass. And she is
Maybe
pissed.
maybe
Okay.
they were friendly.
So you're
I
at
will. Maybe they are friendly. You. Oh man. Oh.
130 feet from Sirach at this point. After
130.
130.
It's 10 feet more than the longest spell I have.
Okay.
I'll be close soon.
Sirach.
Sirach is booking it. Movement and action for another 100 feet. Now within 30 feet of Saride.
Yeah.
And going to cast bonus action. Ba-ba-da-ba. What am I going to bonus action here? Bonus act. Is that how far? Yeah. Bonus action Misty Step to get right next to where Saride is.
Okay. You are now right next to Saride. Saride has traveled 90 feet from the carts, and that is where you are.
Oh my god, I didn't do any of the concentration checks for holding up Zephyr.
Zephyr strike. Okay.
The first one was a 19. The second was a 13.
Mm-hmm. They all have to beat 10. Nobody rolled more than 10 points of damage. 20 points.
All right. So that's the first barrage because that's 10 plus 2. So that first barrage holds up. Second barrage, 14, 8 plus 2 for 10, and 8 plus 2 for 10.
Okay.
So Zephyr Strike is still up.
Okay. There you go. So Saride and Sirach are now 90 feet from the cart.
And I'm going
210
to
feet
look at.
from the bad guys.
Sorry. And I'm going to look at Saride just covered in like blood and tufts of feathers and everything. Go,
They're not good. They're not nice people. Also, they're people.
Okay.
They're people.
The things, humanoids, hobgoblins.
Olarin?
Hobgoblins ain't people. Come on, man.
So, how far away from there? I can't get to them
300 feet.
at all.
You haven't moved at all, so
Yeah.
300 feet.
So I'm just gonna use my action to dash as close to Sirach as I can when I see him just
Okay.
covered in his own bird blood like a dummy.
So you go dashing forward. You abandon the cart.
Am I the last one there at the cart?
No, so the other three players will all stay on the cart. What I'm asking is, are you attempting to like drive the cart towards him, or are you going by yourself?
You know what? I think I will try to drive the cart
Okay.
closer to him.
So we will say that you can either drive Sirach's cart, because he was the driver on that, or you could have Fable drive the cart, or you could take Thozen or Clever Stitch's cart. And I'll make checks for them.
Yeah, I'll just take Sirach's cart.
Okay.
And then like do the whole yeah.
Okay. Are you proficient in land vehicles?
I am not.
Are you proficient in animal handling?
I am not.
All right. Make me a dexterity check.
Oh god. This is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. That's a 7.
You're fine. Right now, you realize, like, you, yeah, and they go, and you kind of jerk backwards, and you're like, I did not expect it to work like that. So, you understand the basics of driving a cart, but but if this gets hairy, that could be a problem. So you travel 30 feet with the cart and dash another 30 feet, 60 feet. So you are 30 feet from Sirach and Saride. Remember these numbers. And you are 240 feet from the bad guys.
Okay, and who else is on the cart with me?
I'll say Fable.
Okay.
Yeah. That way one of them it can always drive the cart, and that will essentially be what they are doing during this conflict.
Okay.
Okay? All right. After Olaroon, Treasure.
Okay. Not exactly fast, but definitely got to get out there. So I'm going to hop down on Hoof and, well, hoof it over there as fast as I can, sword drawn.
Okay. So you go 60 feet. You are 30 feet from Sirach and Saride, and 240 feet from the bad guys. And there you go. Next round. Bad guys are on a 9. All right. 10, I see 3, 8.
Oh, okay.
Olaroon, what'd you flip?
Oh, mine was a 4.
A 4? All right,
Yeah.
Sirach, you're up first.
I just realized I put in the wrong chat
It happens.
because I'm dumb.
Olaroon, Saride, and Treasure. So Sirach is going to cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds on himself for 2d8 plus 2 because he hurting.
Okay.
That is a 7 and a 6 for 13 plus 2 for 15. All right, that brings him up to half health. Okay. Jeez. Gonna hang on to that for now. Have I been able to notice they haven't moved any closer, right?
Not yet.
And do I happen to have the knowledge from rangerness of how far a large crossbow like that has a range?
Close range, 100 feet. Far range, maybe 240, maybe 300.
All right, I'm gonna look at Saride and just like,
That's a lot of crossbows they have. We probably should move back a little bit. You don't want to be this close to crossbows. Those things hurt.
and I'm going to take my I'm gonna move back 30 feet so I can be with Olaroon and no, I'm not gonna leave Saride there. She just came up to save me. That would have been the worst.
Fuck you, run, you coward! I will die with my principles.
So 400 feet is the far range on a heavy crossbow.
Okay. So in that case, I am going to, I'm gonna kind of stick with Saride. And then I'll use my action to sheathe the Blades of Ilrain,
Okay.
which drops Zephyr Strike, and I'll pull out my bow and arrow.
Okay.
And that's where I'm gonna end the turn for the moment.
Okay, after Sirach's turn is the bad guys.
What's the first thing your parents teach you when you're a kid?
Like the first thing?
Like one of the first things your parents teach you when you
Don't talk to strangers.
Oh yeah, look who came up with that.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. My bad.
Yeah.
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 You know what? I'm starting to feel like y'all think this might be my fault.
I feel like Sirach would 100% be the kid that was like, they'd be like, "Hey kid, you want some candy?
And I'm just like,
You want some death sticks?
Andy?
Boy, do I.
Boy, do I!
Boy, howdy, sir. I love candy.
Maybe it's fudge.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, I'm sorry. I'm double checking something because I found a stat at one point, and I know I gave it to you guys. Do any of you remember how many hit points your carts have?
Oh, I can find.
Hold on, I had it written down.
I think it's like 20 or 24. I believe it's based on material. Object hit points. Large. Cart. 27. You guys have resilient carts. Gave you the higher average. Okay. The grass, you notice, begins to... Well, it doesn't actually... You don't notice that first. First, you see a cart with its own pair of large horses burst out of the ramp, and the hobgoblins that had the crossbows jump onto the back of the wagon. Then another one comes up, and the other two crossbowmen jump into the back of the wagon with the commander, and they are going to ride his horse speed. 50 feet, 40 feet, 60 feet? Tell me. Yes, Warhorse. No, not Amphail. I don't need cities. I need a monster stat. God damn it, D&D Beyond. Can't do that. No, what it... Warhouse? No.
Is this Final Fantasy VII? Excuse me.
I know, it's not there. Okay, oh, you guys think Warhorse is one word. Well, the rest of the world doesn't think it's one word. So, 60 feet. So with two horses pulling their carts, they can travel at normal speed. The carts are loaded with two crossbowmen each. They have two carts. And as you look at the back of them, there is a ballista on each cart.
What did you get us into?
These are the Mad Max Raiders of the grasslands.
Yep.
So there is the warlord is going to take a shot at the cart that is closest, which is the one that Olorun is driving. AC of your cart is 15 because they are made of wood. The material determines their AC.
Cards have more than I do, just wanted to say it.
And they have a +6 operating the ballista. Ballistas are slow to reload, though. So, here we go. That is a 9. So as Olorun, as you're driving towards him, Sirach and Siride are there. The war carts burst up and out, and there is a ballista that the war leader of this group turns, and you hear the massive sort of thunder crack as the rope springs against it. This large, looks like a paint mixer kind of spiral, wicked kind of bolt goes whizzing past the cart and whizzing past the other cart and the other cart, and it's like,
my God.
and they come riding up 60 feet. So bad guys are now, I have to keep track of distances. Bad guys have moved
God.
towards you guys 60 feet. So
We should put them within 160 feet.
it's 150 feet from Surat Saride, from S&S Music Factory, and 100. No. So you guys, it was 300 minus 90 minus 60, 150. Yep. Okay. That makes sense. And everybody else that had moved 60 feet is 240. 220. 210. 210. 210 to everybody else. Yeah? No. 60 plus 60 is 120. 180. That's it. Got it. Okay.
Math is hard.
It's trains leaving at different times, moving at different speeds. Trying to figure out when they'll meet in Albuquerque. That old math
If they
problem.
posed those math problems like this, I think I would have paid attention. I think this would have been far more engaging. So math teachers out there, do that.
There you go.
Use D&D.
There it is. Okay. Talroth, quick question for you. You had stayed on the cart, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure. Making sure I knew where everybody was. All right. And it is Talroth's turn. So Talroth, what would you like to do? The crossbow people, they ready actions so that when somebody is within 100 feet, they can shoot without disadvantage. You don't.
So right now, if I were to to move and dash my full 70 feet, I would get just past Treasure, just past Olaroon. Would I be within 60 feet of Sirach and Saride at that point?
You would be 20 feet from Sirach and Saride.
Perfect. So as I am hauling all sorts of ass, I'm gonna reach into the pouch, and so move, bonus action dash,
Okay.
and I'm gonna scream out to them, hide or scatter, I don't care which, and I'm gonna activate the ever smoking bottle. 60-foot radius, heavily obscured.
Okay. Quick question. How, does it say how tall 60-foot radius of ever-smoking bottle goes? Trying to see if it's going to obscure the cart as well.
It just says, when you use an action from with a stopper, the cloud of smoke pours in a 60-foot radius. Cloud's area is heavily obscured. Each minute it's open, it increases by 10 feet. It doesn't specify, how tall. It just says 60-foot radius.
So essentially like a dome.
60-foot radius. I'll give you the dome. Sure. We'll say it goes up as well. So yeah, you obscure everybody, with the exception of the carts, the two carts behind, and yeah, there you go. After Talroth, it is Olaroon.
Okay, so I can't reach this guy. I can't really do much of anything at this moment in time. And
Well, right now you can't see.
Yep, I figured.
You are in a thick cloud of smoke.
So I'm just gonna be like, oh, for the love of God. And I'm just going to take a running start off the cart
Okay.
and bring out the wings,
Okay.
and then just start streaking in a straight line towards the last person I saw. Like the last individual that I saw in terms of the one of the carts.
Okay. Yeah. What's the total distance you've traveled?
So that's only 30 feet because it's an action to break
wing
out
up.
the wings,
Okay.
and so it's just my movement.
So with your wings, you can't really. I'll say you're heavily obscured, but you get close enough that Sirach and Saride can see you. One, your wings
Okay.
glow, and if I am not mistaken, nope. I mean, you guys are effectively blind, but you have the idea, right?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know each other well enough that you're at least close to each other.
Yeah. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna be like, great job. This is a great decision. Everything's going terribly wrong. All right, let's go.
Okay, dokie. After Olaron, who's up? Treasure, Saride. Saride and Treasure.
Well, no, I think that was me because I was on a 4. I think I was last.
No, they had 3s.
Plant.
They both had 3s. Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Treasure, you go.
Okay, well, I know Talroth just blasted by me. I know that Sirach and Saride were still in front of me. I'd personally like to corral everybody
Okay.
before trying to GTFO.
Okay.
So she is going to proceed forward, but with some caution, seeing if she can find at least the people that she knows are right there.
Okay. Roll me a D10.
Ten.
Okay. You go in that direction. You don't bump into Talroth by accident because you wouldn't have been able to see him. You don't bump into anybody, but you might be within 10 feet of Sirach, Saride, and Olaron. You think. You're at least within speaking distance, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. The smoke obscures vision, but you can all still talk to each other. So. I just thought it would be funny if you rolled a 1, 2, 3, or 4 and just like barreled into.
Oh, that'd be terrible. But she is going to try to ready in case something that is not one of them decides to get within hitting range of her.
Absolutely.
But, trying to call to them to, okay, guys, let's reel it back in and GTFO. I don't know if we can handle those ballista.
Okay. Oh, Saride.
Okay, so I'm going to, call out. We're going back to the cart. I'm going to pull Sirach close, give him a kiss on the cheek, and say, for luck. And I'm going to cast Dimension Door to Thozen's cart.
Okay. You cannot see where you are dimension dooring.
I don't have to.
Okay.
It can be a place that I'm aware of.
Okay, and it is within 500 feet.
Yep.
So,
And I can take Sirach with me.
okay. You, you grab him, and the tear in time and reality opens, and you step through the door, portal style, and you are on, we'll say next to the cart. I think it's weird if you teleport inside the cart. Maybe you'll follow them. Go for it. You want to be inside or next to? It's up to you.
Next to, because if we're inside, we could take damage. So next to.
Okay. Next to you go. Anything else to ride?
Bonus action, healing word on Sirach.
Yeah.
How? I'll do 3rd level.
What level spell is Dimension Door? I believe that's third.
Fourth.
Fourth? That's the highest level spell you can cast, I believe.
So I can't cast anything else then? No, I can't cast anything else then. Ooh. Never mind, everyone's too far away. Then I'm just gonna hold Sirach close.
Okay.
But not so close that he can't get out and do something.
Absolutely.
Pull him to my bosom.
Okay.
There we go.
You just hear the.
New round. Go ahead and flip your cards up. All right. I believe it is Saride again.
What were the bad guys on?
So none of you can see them. So you don't know what they're doing or when they're
Alright.
doing it.
Well, good. I would like to cast third level healing word. Oh wait, no, I can touch him. He's right here now. Third level cure wounds on Sirach.
Okay.
And I'm going to inspire him
Okay.
for whatever, because he's the only person I can see.
Okay.
So I'll.
That's the 8 temp.
No, that's just
Oh,
inspiration.
just inspiration die.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hold on. Let me roll your shit.
I'm waiting.
$19.
Hey!
Well, those are
Perfect.
sevens. I thought they were
Yep.
ones. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
Nice.
Talroth.
All right. Use an action to close the bottle
Okay.
to stop the smoke from pouring out.
Okay.
So the rest, whatever's out, will just naturally disperse. I know everyone's around me, so I'm just going to call out, haul ass back, let's get out. And
Okay.
I'm just going to pretty much reverse course and move in bonus action dash back to the cart by 70 feet.
Okay. Roll me a D10.
Ten.
10. Yeah, you run past without running into anybody. So yeah, the smoke of the bottle is still there. It does dissipate under the winds. The winds are moderate. They're not real strong right now. So the smoke is still there. You think in a round it'll be lightly obscured, and probably a round after that it'll be gone. So just looking at its pervasiveness, but it doesn't immediately just go away. So letting you guys know. Anything else, Talroth?
Nope. I just wanted to just rush in, get everybody cover for a second
Yep.
from those crossbows, and then get my ass back out of there, back to the
Okay.
carts.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. After Talroth is Sirach.
Can I? So I still can't see anything of the baddies, right?
You can't. No, there's a very large cloud of smoke that is sort of blowing away currently, but it is very thick still. So you can't make out anything, at least not by sight. If you'd like to make a bonus action perception check to see if you hear them, or just let me rephrase. You can hear them, but you need to make the check to determine if you're trying to like hear that way or that way. Like it takes effort.
Okay. Can I, in that case, I'm gonna hop on to the top of the wagon,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna ready my attack
Mm-hmm.
for when I can see them within 600 feet. When I can determine directionality and that they are within 600 feet,
Okay.
and save my attack for then.
Okay. Sounds good. After Sirach is Olaroon.
Okay, so I'm still in the smoking cloud.
Yep. It is starting to get lighter, you can tell. But it is still is still thick enough that you are effectively blind.
Okay, I am gonna just try and head out towards the direction it starts getting thinner and like as soon as I get to the point where I emerge, I'm gonna stop my movement at that point, if that makes sense.
Are you trying to go back towards the carts, or are you trying to go forward?
At this point in time, I realize that if I went back towards the carts, I don't necessarily know where back towards the carts is.
Okay.
Because I'm in a giant thing, so Olorun would immediately just look for the closest exit.
Tell you what, roll me a d12.
Okay. That's a 5.
A 5. Okay. So, you've kind of lost your orientation. You look around. You're like, I think it's that way. You take off flying in that direction. You travel 60 feet.
Yeah. Unless I travel. If I pop out of the smoke early, I stop my movement at that point.
You don't pop out within 30 feet, so you continue to press on.
Yeah.
It is getting thinner, but it's still to the point where it is still pretty thick. I'll say that the wind has started to disperse it as you get to the end of 60 feet, and you can see the outline of 2 carts and people moving around over there, and just by the voices, you can tell that it's your friends.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you didn't go like straight back at them. You kind of went slightly off to the side, but you're at least in that hemisphere. So.
Yeah, and then so since I can't really see anything, I'm just gonna kind of end my turn there.
Okay, Treasure.
All right, so I'm going to listen to where I heard Talroth call out,
Okay.
and just follow as fast as I can go.
Sure, make a perception check.
Not good. That was a 7.
Okay, roll me a d6.
That is a 1.
Okay, you hear Talroth. You're kind of you got a little lost in the smoke. You go and you get to an area where it's starting to be thinner. And Treasure, you are you went towards your friends, but instead of being like 10 degrees or 20 degrees off, you're like 30 degrees off. So you're a little to the outside of Olorun, but you're heading in the right way. Fable wheels the cart about and goes, I guess we're going back. And she'll yeehaw and begin to drive the cart in that direction. New round. Okay. Up top, Talroth. With a king, I believe. Yes? Yeah. Talroth, the wind has started to pick up. Your smoke from the ever-smoking bottle is now lightly obscured, so disadvantage on perception checks. So you're starting to now see like outlines of people through there. It looks as though those carts came a little forward, but when they couldn't see, they started kind of like circling about. You guys still have a fair bit of distance on them.
About how far away are they right now? Because I know getting specifics of, oh, there's like 5 on this cart and 3 on that one, that's not going to happen. But
right.
You said I can see like the general shape of the cart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make perception checks at disadvantage because it is lightly obscured, and you might be able to rough up some distance.
Okay, that was a 19.
19. Yeah, you think they're in the 150-foot-ish range?
All right, since it's like the round when I dropped the bottle I had just hauled ass to get there. My movement would have brought me back to the carts. Yeah, I'm just gonna hop in the cart, grab the reins, and just get ready to go as... Actually, no. Fable was already by Olaroon, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he had abandoned that cart, so...
Yeah, I'll try bringing the cart in to get to where Olaroon is and see if Treasure's around there too, because I'm not sure if I can find her just yet.
Okay, so you're gonna grab, let's say, Thozen's cart, or grab Clever Stitch's cart, and begin to do that. Okay, sounds good. Sirach, you had held an action to attack, and now with the smoke dissipating, you can see them enough to make an attack roll. They're within 600 feet.
All right, they're within 600.
Yep.
All right, and both the carts are being dragged by 2 horses.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna take 2 shots at one of the horses carrying the general.
Okay, let's do it.
Commander.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? How far away are they?
200 feet.
All right, so disadvantage because
Yes.
longbow is 150.
Yep.
All right, so that's going to be 9 + 9 for 18
That'll hit.
to hit.
Yep.
All right, so that's 1d8. That's 1 + 4, so that's going to be 5 damage to the horse.
Okay. Yeah. It neighs and stumbles. It's still up. It's not dead yet.
I'll hit it again.
Okay.
God, I don't want to kill horses. That's 6 + 9 for 15.
That'll hit.
Just saying, better the horses than us right now.
But I know, the horses don't have any say in this. They're just horses. But it's the quickest way to stop those carts and slow them down. That'll be 7 + 4 for 11 damage.
Okay. Yeah. So the horse is not dead. It is bloodied, however, and it's looking pretty rough. And you can see that the cart driver is making checks. They are trained for combat. These horses. So they are they're sturdy as far as horses go, but you can see him starting to like veer and twist. So he is effectively slowed. Yeah, and it looks like it seems the risk of losing their horses is enough to start to deter them a little bit.
Okay.
Tarak, that was your held action. And we have Olaroon.
Well, that was my held action, so would we start at the beginning
Oh
with
yeah,
Talroth?
sorry. Yeah, Sirach. Yeah. Your turn. My
So
bad.
Talroth, first turn.
Talroth did his turn.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it was on
Cool.
Talroth's turn that the smoke dissipated enough. I was using his
Beautiful,
turn
yeah.
for the smoke. That's why. Your held action couldn't happen until his turn.
Yeah. Let me see if I can down that one horse, if that'll convince him to pull off the pursuit.
Okay.
So I'll attack the same horse.
Same horse? Okay.
Yeah. That is a 3 and a 13. So that's going to be 3 + 9 for 12.
It hits. You would have to nat 1 to miss this horse.
Oh, geez. Okay.
It's an 11. If you have a +9, it takes a nat 1 for you to miss the horse.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 8 damage to the horse.
Horse is unconscious. So
All right.
it stumbles, it falls. One of the guys jumps off the cart to tend to the horse. Make your next attack if you want to shoot the other horse, not the the other cart. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what because I'm assuming with that horse going down, that cart's effectively stopped.
Yeah.
So I'll start firing at one of the horses on the other cart.
Okay, go for it.
That'll be 14 plus 9, so that's going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7 plus 4 for another 11 damage.
Bloodied horse. Okay. Their held action, they're gonna shoot at Sirach. You're up on the tallest point, and you just took out their horse. They are at disadvantage.
I'm gonna bonus action cast Etherealness on myself.
Okay.
As they go to shoot, I'll cast Etherealness on myself.
Okay. So I doubt they can hit you when you're under the effects of etherealness.
They cannot. I can only be affected by things that are in the same ethereal plane as I am.
Okay. So a couple of bolts go whizzing out at you guys. They're shooting at disadvantage, so they're veering off. Their shots are not terribly effective. Those two attacks, one of them does sort of go like right through where you would have been, Sirach, and you're like, whew. That would have done it. The other held action, they're gonna take some shots at the cart and miss. And again, at disadvantage and miss. And then the warlord is gonna make his ballista shot at disadvantage. And a natural 3 is not gonna be enough to hit the 15 of the cart. Let's go swap by. Okay. After Sirach, Olorun. Talroth has brought the cart within about 10 feet of you. About 10 feet of you and Treasure. You guys he's kind of splitting the difference there. So.
Let's see. There's no one else I can see because there's still smoke.
You can make a perception check at disadvantage. You're seeing shadows of people at this point.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Just see if I see anyone, which I probably won't. No, that's a 6.
You can so you can see the carts. You can see Talroth. You can see Treasure. The bad guy, like you can see the shadows of those carts, but you couldn't pinpoint one person, right?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna land on the cart as it's moving.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like stand and like wait to see like in case some of them come into within striking distance, so I can jump off and do the whole fly off.
Got it. That is it for Olorun. Treasure?
All right, so I see the cart, I see Olorun, and I see Talroth, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at this point, I'm sheathing a sword. There's not a whole lot more to do here. We just got to book it because those ballistas look nasty, and I know I'm tough, but I also know I'm not tough enough to take a couple of those ballista bolts.
Sure.
So just going to hop into the cart and wave to Olorun to get his feathery ass into this cart.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, Olorun's on the cart, Treasure's on the cart. Next round, flip them up. So, my guys are on a 4. If you guys are running, if you're leaving, you don't want to get shot at, they can't pursue you. Their horses are injured. So they'll be taking some shots at disadvantage this round to maybe try to hit your horse. But that's it. Yes, Talroth.
The one thing I would like to do to try to help us with that is make sure that my cart's the last one going. I'll hand the reins to Stitch, get to the back, and pop the bottle open as we're moving so the smoke is like behind us, like a smoke screen.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. I'd say you probably have to hold that action. Looking at initiatives, because what was your card?
Oh, 9. Sorry, forgot
9.
to write it.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I mean you'd probably want to hold it, but is there anything else that you guys would really like to do besides make it out of here?
Unconscious that other horse.
Okay, go ahead and take the shot.
7 plus 9.
More than enough.
Full damage, 8 plus 4 for 12.
Yep, unconscious.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of hit points. They're going to make the attacks. They're already at disadvantage, being outside of range. So, and the horses have, I'm going to say 3/4 cover because of the carts that are in the way. So they're just lobbing arrows at this point. Yeah, that's natural 1, natural 4, a 6 plus, I'd say that, and I'll say one of your horses, the one that's in the back with Clever Stitch, takes a lucky crossbow bolt in the rump. So he, right on the haunch, he you see the bolt sticking out, and he neighs and it kind of stumbles. It's not enough for him to. It's a flesh wound. It's 8 points of damage of his 19. Oh, well, it's not a warhorse, but whatever. He's still up, is the point, and you guys, and he is able to move, and so you guys are. Oh yeah, dude's got 5 hit points left. He's fine. You guys do escape. You escape up and out of the wilds of Grasslands. Let's take a break. Nicely done. We'll regroup, and then we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And thanks for hanging out with us. We're gonna see what madness these guys get into in just a minute. But until then, stay tuned. And welcome back, everybody. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have
playing Olaroon Dawnseeker, the ASMR Warlock Paladin.
I'm Megan, playing Stride Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
I'm Eric, and I'm playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy y'all, this is Miles. I'm playing Top Roth Oakenblade, the Living Smoke Bomb. Wood Elf Scout.
And I'm Kez, and I'm playing Treasure Glitter Hoof, the Tiefling Fighter.
All right. So just before we left off, you guys had escaped a small band of roving. Well, they weren't roving; they were in their home, but of hobgoblin raiders with war carts, or just normal carts with a ballista on back. We don't know. They were doing their own thing. But you guys did escape. You're seemingly the only real damage that happened was one of your horses took a thunka in the donka to put it appropriately. So, is there anything specific you guys would like to do on the eve after your escape?
Horse.
Heal the horse?
Heal!
Okay. I was like, I thought I made it clear it wasn't that big of an issue, but I guess if you want to
kill it now. We already know we're archivists.
Am I taking over for the horse again while you do something about its behind?
It's resting for the night.
It's not the same horse, thankfully, and no, you guys don't need to take over for the horse. It's still able to move, relatively well, pretty well. So that is not a problem.
We're just gonna draw a cutie mark where that scar is now. Just draw hearts on it.
Sure.
A bolt. It has to be a bolt and a ballista.
Oh, little bullseye, bolt, ballista. There we go.
Yes, Bullseye. His name is Bullseye.
We're literally like Treasures as we're driving, just gonna draw on this poor horse.
Well, that's what it gets for surviving, right?
Wow.
That's a 2020 mood right there.
That's what you get. That's what you get for living through this nightmare.
You didn't die, so. You
Have
know.
Amy Barrett going.
Yeah. All right, guys. So you take your long rest. You take your watches and breaks. The winds and weather through the night is beginning to get cooler. Nothing that is uncomfortable, but you're starting to appreciate the opportunities you had to buy cold weather clothing and things like that. And it's a sign of the change in the weather in the days that are coming. The night passes seemingly without incident, and the days begin to get shorter. I'd like one of you to make me a survival check.
I can do it.
Okay. I got a +5, so.
All right. I mean, I've got +4, so if you want to do it, you can.
I have a +8. I got a 19.
You know what? Maybe as an idea, we should let Talroth take care
Yeah,
of this.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you just need to step aside and let someone else take the spotlight.
Exactly. You don't need to be the center of attention.
I know. You know, everyone has their things. Cool.
As you guys are, even after your harrowing experience with the war carts and things of that nature, you are on track to continue to travel to Lodensvracht. And it is sorry, I'm adding up the days now. From there to 4 points is about 14. 15 times 1.5 is about 3 weeks. 3 weeks travel. And you guys have gone through, let's say, about 2 weeks on the road.
Can I ask, while we're traveling, if we were learning a skill or a language, can we count that off?
Yeah, you guys can commit 2 weeks of downtime as you travel to different events. Yeah, if you have anything that you're working on, you absolutely can do that. Yes.
Yeah. No, because I was just wondering, is there a way I could like work with Saride and learning how to lie to people?
So adventuring skills.
What makes you think I know how?
Or is it just like general proficiencies?
So you can study languages and tool proficiencies. Those are the skills that you can pick up from training as like a downtime activity. The adventuring skills you need to either multi-class into or take a feat for.
Okay.
So.
Can I try and learn Infernal then?
Yeah, you can. Oh, who in the party speaks Infernal that can teach it to you? I think is that okay? There you go.
So
What
does
do you
the
think?
Ooh, looking for some one-on-one tutoring, are we?
I hate you all.
No, it's fine. That's what I'm doing with those in an orc. So well done.
There are jokes to
so
be
then-
made that I'm avoiding. So, what did you have, Talroth?
Oh, I'm just gonna keep going, learning just playing cards and stuff to figure out that Fate Shifter deck. Whenever Treasure isn't teaching Olaroon how to speak backwards Celestial.
And how have you kept track of how many weeks that you have put through that? How many is that?
I was at 5 weeks before, and now with the 2 weeks, that puts me at 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay, thank you. Sirach, Saride, is there anything you guys are working on?
Orc. I've got
Yep.
2 more weeks.
Okay. Sirach?
Yeah, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna start trying to learn land vehicles. To
Land
become
vehicles. Okay.
proficient in that.
Is anyone in your party proficient that can teach it to you?
I think Stitch is actually.
Fighters
I
might
think-
be.
Well,
Stitch or Thozen?
Because Stitch is a mercenary vet background, right, or something like that.
No, he came from a vet. Very different.
I think if anyone
Yeah.
has land vehicle proficiency, it's Stitch.
Yeah.
Well, then Sylvester can teach Tweety how to drive a car.
That's why we play D&D.
First the Animaniacs reboot, now this. Yes!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You son of a bitch! You did it.
All right. So, one last week to go. Who wants to roll me a percentile? Go for it.
So that's 2 weeks of learning we're doing.
Yeah, you've done 2.
Out of how many that I need to?
It's 10 minus your intelligence modifier.
Thank you.
20!
9.
20. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Roll me a d8.
Seven!
Okay. Okay. As you begin to near, you're say a couple of days out from the city of Vlodensravik. And it is nighttime. You guys have set up your watches and are taking them accordingly. The days have been not as harrowing. You've been keeping an eye out. You've been able to spot any other little raider bases or things like what you've run into. You've avoided tracks and kept your eyes peeled for anything growing in the grass. The grass has gotten thinner and has begun to frost over and die a little bit at night, and so it's not quite the changing of the leaves yet, but you guys are getting late into dusk, right? So in the eve, you feel we're gonna say in the early I actually don't know enough about this, but we'll say that it is 7 o'clock at night. The night has sort of fallen. There's maybe a little bit of light just over the horizon, still casting its way across the lands. I would like all of you to make me perception checks.
$18, baby.
13.
21.
13.
$15?
Okay. So you all feel this. The three of you as you're settling in for your night, maybe you're having your meal, a little bit of fire, some sort of pot, Screeber's cooking over it, baking something. Who knows? He's doing a wonderful job. You see the flames dancing in your fire, and they begin to tremor. Just a little bit, to tremble. And you sort of, seems odd, and then you can feel it underneath your feet, and those of you sitting on the ground or on a stool or something like that, you can feel just these heavy sort of shaking, vibration to the ground. It is dark, so initially it sort of doesn't catch your attention, but you look to the side, in the direction of the Blood Gulch River, and there are, just on the outskirts of your vision, these massive, moving, sort of lumbering hills that are clumped together, sort of traveling in a line to the west.
I cast Primeval Awareness.
Okay. And what does that give you the awareness of?
To sense, I can expend one ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile, or within up to 6 miles if in favored terrain, but we're not. Okay.
There is nothing of that sort within that range.
Okay. Okay. I mean, but these things are a mile away, right?
Oh, they're within the range, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're,
Okay,
they're probably 500 feet away, and even at this distance, you can tell they're big. These things are real big.
I was just wondering if, like, they were elemental somethings.
Nothing elemental? Nope.
Nope.
So,
Could I try some kind of nature check to figure out what they are?
yeah, absolutely.
Was there, like, have we ever heard about this in the history of, you know, the,
You can make a history check, see if something comes to mind. I'd say make it with disadvantage, because it's, well, yeah, disadvantage. History's not really the right skill for this, but it might apply. What'd you get, Talroth?
A 23 on nature.
23 on nature. Okay. So, you, being from the continent and of an elf and of a wooden elf variety, you do, you're sort of like, really? Is that what I think it is? And you kind of peel your eyes in the dark light, and they're at a distance, so they're beyond your dark vision. There's a little bit of light still casting across them, but the heavy trembling. And you realize that these are probably some form of elephant. Maybe even like a large herd of more temperate elephants. And you know that they're probably migrating towards the Blood Gulch River, and then they'll follow the river south. As winter comes, they'll head towards the warmer climates.
As I'm remembering all that, would that remind me of like 4 Hooves of Thunder or anything like that?
Make an intelligence check. Oh, Laroon, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 14.
A 14. So, you do remember that elephants are not as common on this continent anymore. Most of them were thought to be hunted to extinction, either by early hobgoblin tribes or ancient orc tribes would try to capture them for war mounts. Some goblin nations have used them. So a herd of elephants is actually very rare on this continent, but there apparently are still enough of them to have a herd. What did you roll, Talroth?
That was an 11 on intelligence.
The thunder part is there, but you don't know that elephants necessarily have hooves. You think they have like toenails? So it maybe it, I mean, if you miss the chance to check it out, you might kick yourself later, but at the same time, you're just checking for safety, really.
Yeah, dotting all the T's, crossing all the I's, all that.
Exactly. What would you guys like to do?
They're not coming anywhere near us, are they?
They're not heading in your direction, no.
Do they look like they're moving quickly, like really fast?
No.
Or they? Okay.
Nope. I should probably say they're like maybe 150 feet away. 500 feet is too far for the ground to be rumbling if they're not like marching.
Have I seen or known of any elephants in Jalen? Would this be the first time I've ever seen them?
Roll me a percentile. You have heard of elephants. Coming from Jalen, you have absolutely heard of elephants. You're going to roll to see if you've ever seen one.
7.
7. I'm going to say no. You have heard of elephants. You have seen pictures of elephants. You have seen element byproducts. You've seen element bones and tusks and all of those sorts of things. You have never seen a live elephant. The city of Bridges is not the right place for elephants to be kept, unfortunately. So.
I mean, fair.
But. So yeah, the herd seems to be passing you by. They'll probably pass throughout the night. And if you guys don't have any further interest in them, then off they will go.
Yeah, no, Treasure's just gonna like admire them from a distance. Obviously, leave them alone. You don't want to mess with something that big necessarily.
Right.
But if this is the first time she's seen one, yeah, no, she's gonna admire those things from a distance.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, Talroth will just be sitting on top of the cart, just kind of fiddling with the deck of cards, just kind of watching them pass.
Okay. Sounds good. They go by. 30 minutes, an hour, maybe. As you guys try to take account of them, it's a pretty large herd. Looks like it's about 40 of them. Not the biggest herd. They can get up to 100 or so, or as small as like 8, half dozen. But yeah, the elephants go marching by.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, you can see the ground has been thoroughly trampled. You guys wake up in the morning and go through your things. It's the last day's travel before you make it to the town. Is there anything you guys would like to do before arriving?
I think I would just kind of turn to everyone and I'll be like, I know why we're going in this direction. And I just want to say thank you. I definitely don't think I could have done this by myself, or any part of this by myself. So, I guess when we get to the town, I guess we start asking as many questions about rumors of a sword in the mountains as much as possible. Does that sound like a decent plan?
I'm thinking maybe not asking about no sword specifically. Maybe start kind of light, see if there's any rumors. Just kind of go from there, because I don't know, if we're asking about weapons off the bat, that might make us a little suspicious like.
Just ask about any stories about the mountain.
Yeah, stories, rumors.
All right. Well, you guys ready?
I
We're
think
ready.
the question is, are you ready?
Oh no, no, not by any stretch of the imagination. So, let's say we go.
Okay. You guys approach the town of Loden's-Ravekt from the northeast, traveling to the southwest. The first thing you can see are great spires stretch into the sky. Seem to be made of bone and metal, bone reinforced with metal, almost as though the cracks were laced with steel or iron, any number of other precious metals. They look like, sort of like elephant tusks, but massive, the size of buildings. And you realize that those are the uprights for the bridge that crosses the Blood Gulch River. Blood Gulch River is a very long river, very wide river. And it is, as you can see on approach, a massive sort of suspension style bridge with some posts going down into the dirt and stretching up, and then the inter-betweens having cables and ropes and other sort of magical bindings holding it in place. It is inspiring, for sure. It is, while it may seem a little primitive perhaps at a glance, this is a feat of magical and scientific engineering. And Loden's-Ravekt sits in the shadow of this bridge. There is a bustling town, a city, between you and the crossing of the bridge. Most people come here. It's a place of trade. It is a place where old races of Lickdracht gather together. The Blood Gulch River has been, as you all know, I'm going to just make some history checks for you and give you some assumed knowledge here. The Blood Gulch River is a lifeblood of the central dynasties. Any civilization that has dominated Lickdracht, whether in the north, which was most recently the Hobgoblins, and then about 1,000 years before that, orcs were primarily in control, or whether it was the ancient Serpentine peoples of the southern lands of the south, and the swamps and the Yuan-ti, or any of the other civilized races that have carved out nations at different point, whether that be the elves or the dwarves or different individuals such as any of them. The Blood Gulch River is extremely important, and in its early history was often fought over, hence the name. Many battles have been fought on it and across it, with enough dead that would dye the river. Vlodensravik is the southern town of the two great bridges that were here. They were built by, this one was built by ancient Yuan-Ti and has been kept up by a stewardship of goblinoids over the past 3,000 years or so. It is a rough town. It is a town of culture. It is a town of art. It is a town of trade. But it is a town of this is the separation between East and West, right? This is a what is that in our world? St. Louis? That feels odd. Never mind. Gateway to the West? Big weird arch thing?
Yeah.
So, what is that? Pasta with chili on it? Is that a...
Oh, that's
not Philly.
are you
That's
thinking
Cincinnati.
Skyline?
Cincinnati.
That's Cincinnati, Ohio.
Skyline chili, man.
Yeah.
With cinnamon. So good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not chili, but
Right.
whatever it
Yeah.
is, it's really good.
Real chili doesn't have beans. What you say about beans? Beans are just soggy nuts. What you say about nuts? Sorry.
Seriously, if you have to put it on spaghetti, it's not chili.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you.
So, Vlodensravik is out before you. It is sort of like the trading town you guys had faced back east, but it is more established. These are not huts or tents. These are not temporary homes of any kind. These homes are built with wood and brick and stone gathered from the area. The older parts of the town are the ones that are closest to the bridge, and then it sort of has built out from there. And the oldest portions are the streets that run down the thoroughfare. A lot of these buildings, as you're coming up on them, the old ones are brick and stone. They are 2-story, maybe 3 at the most. Most of them are pretty short. There are no skyscrapers or anything very tall. So from wherever you're at in the city, you can always see the general direction of the bridge. You may not be able to see the base of it, but you can always see where those bridge uprights are. Very easy. Down this central thoroughfare, the city is busy, it's bustling, and it is full of marketers. And each of the buildings has, if they don't have some form of statue relief carved into the stone that makes up and supports the building, then they have some form of like graffiti or paint or heraldry on each of these buildings. And you can tell there is at least a format to it. These buildings are the oldest in Sravik, and these buildings are the landed ancestral homes of families that have lived and stayed here for a long time. There's a few marketplaces, but that's your initial impression of it. What would you guys like to do or explore or look for first?
I know for me, I'd probably try and find the closest kind of like inner tavern.
Okay.
I'd probably go with Olarun on that, just because at least that'll help us set up lodging, stables, things like that.
I'm looking for a weaponsmith.
Okay. So, do you guys want to? The city is sort of separated out into districts. Do you want to get like into the heart of it? Do you want to go near the bridge side? Do you want to try to stick to what are more traveler quarters, or are you looking to explore parts of the city that are more established? Just give me like a broad idea here.
I think honestly, as of right now, I'd probably want to stay more towards the travelers' quarters. For
Okay.
me.
Yeah. So travelers' quarters are just on the outside of like that main thoroughfare road, and because that's where most people, the main road. But it is just to the north side. North side is a little more traveler, right? South side is more locals, and you guys do start looking around there. So first up, we were looking for an inn. Do I get that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So. No. Wrong button. My bad. So yes, you do find an inn that is named Gaffrench. Gaffrench's Hole.
Oh,
His what
a
now?
hole. His hole.
It's HOL, and you can see on the sign that there was probably a D on the sign, but
Oh.
somebody took it out and put an E over it. So
You know what? Olarune's gonna be like, I'm gonna catch hepatitis in this place, aren't I?
Treasure's gonna mess with Olorun just a little and be like, Olorun, I had no idea this was the kind of tavern we were looking for.
No, it's not what is happening. You know what? I don't know how I feel about staying in this place.
you can look for another place. That's the first place you come across.
What does it look
Okay.
like in terms of does it look run down?
So it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily look run down. I will say that they have a large stable on the back, just off to the side, and that was the first thing that you kind of saw. It is like a barn stable, so there are actually like fully indoors for any of your horses. There are carts and wagons that are parked around there. There's a little bit of like a hillside that it kind of butts up against. It sounds like it is rowdy. The construction of it is stone with a few add-ons that have been made in wood. The wood add-ons look older, but not run down. None of them are. There's no like rot or termite damage or anything like that you can see. Is it nice? No. But is it seedy? No, not really. It's a place that does a lot of high volume business, a lot of quick turnover, and it's anything that's in disrepair. Looks like it's in disrepair just because people are on it all the time. Like when you look at the wooden steps that lead up to the door, there is clearly a central portion that is raw wood
Like worn
now,
out, yeah.
unpainted, and just a little thinner, right? It's not splintering, it's not broken, it's not anything like that. But it's clear that, man, people walk up and down these steps all the time.
So the hole's getting a lot of business.
The hole is seeing,
no.
yeah, Gaffrin's Hold is seeing a lot of business.
I hate you.
I'm sorry, you said Gaffrin?
Yeah.
Okay, because you said it immediately, and then I didn't hear it for a while, and I was like, is that Gavroche? Gaffrin? And I'm going immediately, to the wrong place here, so Gaffrin, thank you.
So then I'll just be like, well, I'll take a deep breath. I hear the noise inside, and I just kind of try and soldier on.
Okay.
Treasure's coming up behind him with her imaginary popcorn and ready to see what happens.
Okay. Sounds good. So, as you make your way into Gaffrin's Hold, I didn't realize it was going to be this much of a problem. I'm so sorry. The place is pretty busy. Straight across from you, there is a large, wide bar that stretches almost the entirety of the back wall. There are 2 staircases that lead up and look like they have lines of rooms upstairs, and there is the poorest excuse of like a bardic stage off on the left corner on the door wall side. Looks like this place doesn't do a lot of entertainment, but it's there in case somebody feels the urge. You can see that there are a couple of like stringed instruments, ukulele, sitars, lutes, flute, whatever, those sort of old-timey guitars, and a banjo. There are some serving boys and girls, men and women, making their way around, handing out drinks and food. You can smell
what the Rock is cooking. Sorry, I had to do it.
Mostly seems to be pork. A lot of pork and pig dishes being served.
I'm here for that. That's down south barbecue. Thank you very much. Are there like a lot of people?
It is. Let's see. So it is about 3 o'clock. It's not the lunch rush, so you can walk through. But I would say about 70% of the tables have somebody at them. There are some empty tables, but it's not like packed. It's not standing room only. You know what I mean?
So I don't have to like pick and go like, ooh.
Yeah, no. So you maybe have to like scoot past one person.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll turn to Treasure and be like, do you want to find us a seat? And I'll go talk to the innkeeper individual.
Sure. Bar or table?
Let's go with the table, just in case everyone else gets here.
She nods, and she's gonna split off to see if she can find a table where the whole group can sit at.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll head to the bar and just be like, hi, I have a group that's looking for some lodging for the night, if that's possible.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit, because actually, Cole, you're kind of quiet for me.
Am I? Okay, sorry. But yeah, I'll be like, yeah, if I could get a room for, let's see, and I'll count out however many of us there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think.
9, 10.
9, 10.
Did
yeah.
you count Screevers and Raven?
Raven.
Yeah.
And Burns.
And Burns didn't go with you.
Yeah, Burns didn't go with us.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
Never mind.
So there's 10 of us.
Yep.
Yeah, so it'll be like, for 10 people, I think. See, everyone shares a room, five rooms.
So five rooms? Yeah, we can set you up with 5 rooms. How long are you planning on staying for?
That really depends. Probably just the night, but I did have a few questions if that's okay as well.
Sure. Yeah. What's on your mind?
Sorry, my name. Sorry, I'm rude. My name's Olaroon. What's yours?
Blathid.
Blathid.
Well, yeah. We try to say it all at once.
Okay,
but...
no, I'm just trying to make sure I say it correctly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you, sir. Ma'am.
Fine. That's all right. So it's a human gentleman. He looks to be maybe a little older than Olaroon, mid-20s maybe. He's got long brown hair. It's pulled up in 2 ponytails, one high and one low. He's got sort of striking brown eyes, slightly tan skin, but you think that's more from being in the sun than perhaps Birth. Yeah, dressed relatively well. White shirt, leather, brown leather vest, sort of matches his hair. And he's cleaning the glasses as you're talking to him.
Yeah, yeah, Blathet. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Olaroon, as I said before. But my friends and I, we've heard some stories about the mountain to the southwest.
Oh, Velxer's teeth.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of stories about Velxer's teeth.
Yeah. And so I know you probably get like adventuring types in here all the time, kind of headed over there, I would assume.
Yeah, there's a season for it, but not many adventurers make it out till the Vexers these days. Had a couple of bad expeditions. A lot of people stopped coming back, so there's not many that would jump into that. But yeah, I think there's a couple around that might have done it back in the day.
What happened to them, if you don't mind me asking?
A lot of people don't know. You know, it's one of those things. People leave here, they gather up some soldiers, some adventurers, some kids looking to make a couple of coins or whatever it may be, head into Velxers. Some of them used to come back with riches and treasure, and it's got a pretty good rep for some ancient art and coin and just ore. And I don't know. When I was a kid, people just sort of stopped going there, stopped coming back too. I think the stop coming back happened first. But you never know. You know, people say that they're gonna head west and break the mountain range, and they never come back. So, you know, if they don't come back, people just say, oh, well, they don't come back because it's haunted or they're dead, or, you know, like, who knows what really happens to anybody that goes and makes a new life for themselves. I mean, there could be and he sort of daydreams off for a moment. It's like, there could be like some weird sexy conclave of adventurers that are like, yeah, we found it, or they could all be lying in a ditch just rotting. So I don't know, but
Yeah.
let's see. There's, I think, and he sort of he casts his eyes past you, then kind of leans around to one side. There's an old guy who comes in sometimes when he's a little down on his luck. I haven't seen him in a couple of days. Awful.
Awful?
Affle.
Affle?
It's AFFAL. AHL maybe. Yeah.
That's an unfortunate name.
Well, you know, he played into it. He's Awful the
so
awful.
he's kind of unpleasant. Oh.
Actually, he's a really nice guy. But
really,
yeah,
that's always nice.
Well, the thing is, he used to have this. He's old now. He's old, so they call him Awful just because he's, you know what happens when you get old. You just get kind of crotchety.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people who said I'm kind of like that already, but you know.
It's okay. You'll grow into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Awful used to have this rep that he would kill anybody any way you wanted. That was his gimmick, right? And he played it up. He'd always have a story about it, or he's always got like a this one time, I whatever, and it's some huge like
at this one time at like Bard Camp or whatever.
No, it's like a tall tale. You'll be like, oh, who came through here was it was like an elf. He's like, oh, I killed the king of the elves when in my youth when and I did it by swinging on a chandelier and dropping on top of him, and then I filled the room with smoke and evaporated into the night, and you know.
Oh yeah, and or like I once had a contract to kill the Jack or something like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
something
Exactly.
crazy.
Something like that, and it's so you know he's full of those, but if you can sort through his fictions, right? I do know that Athel was probably on one of those last expeditions that went to Velser's Teeth.
Okay. Well, me and my friend, she's the very statuesque golden tiefling in the corner.
Oh wow! Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna be here for a while,
Okay.
clearly, because we need a place to stay. But
Mhm.
if you could let me know when he walks in, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can. Like I said, I don't know if he'll be here tonight, but if you want, I can send somebody out looking for him.
Yeah, please. I'd really appreciate it.
Okay.
I got some questions in terms of some stuff.
All right. You want something to eat? You want something to drink?
Yeah, I'm definitely I could eat. So what you got?
Okay. He goes through the menu with you, and you know, you do get the idea that for him to send somebody to look for Athel, he's looking for like a couple of coins for the service.
So I'll get 2 specials, 2 ales, and then I'll throw him an extra gold piece. I would say.
Okay.
Is I feel like that's reasonable.
Sure. Yeah. He doesn't seem impressed, but it seems like he'll do it. So we'll say the whole thing costs you 2 gold.
All right. Then you know what? I'll throw in 3 gold pieces then.
Okay. Three makes it feel like you have a better chance of seeing him tonight. So you do book the rooms. So 3 gold pieces for dinner and for him, or 3 gold pieces for him, a gold piece for dinner, and then we're gonna say for each room, I want to say what, like 2 gold pieces.
Okay. So
a
5
room.
rooms. So 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. No problem.
So.
And then I'll just bring the food and the ale back to the table where Treasure's at.
Okay. So. Saride, you went looking for a weaponsmith.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, is there any specific type of weaponsmith that you would like to find and or need to find?
I'm looking for a very specific weapon, so yes.
Okay. Yeah. What are you looking for?
Flame blade?
Flame blade. Okay. So...
What was it that Olrin was looking at before we left town? Was it a flame blade?
Flame tongue? Yeah, flame blade.
Flame tongue.
Flame tongue longsword.
There it is.
Um,
She is the suburban mom going Christmas shopping for her kid. She's not entirely sure what the He-Man's name is, but maybe the shopkeep will know. I don't know.
okay. Okay.
My son loves this show.
It's got fire and it's a sword thing. Do you know what the kind I'm talking about though?
All right. Make me an investigation check.
Wait. 10.
10. Okay. Okay. So you go wandering around, looking through these different shops. None of them seem to have anything that lights on fire. The closest thing you find is this elven fellow that is selling a javelin that is in the shape of a lightning bolt. And he says it'll streak across the battlefield like a bolt of lightning. Although it doesn't come back to you, you have to go fetch it afterwards.
Well, that's a bit of a design flaw then, isn't it?
Well, I didn't design it, I just sort of kept it.
No, I didn't mean to suggest it's more amusing out loud. I apologize.
So,
sorry to bother. Thank you for looking, but you're into weaponry that's a little exotic then, yeah?
I've run into a few exotic pieces here and there, yes. I don't necessarily trade in them often, but this particular piece is just a spare piece that I have. So yes, I've been through a few shops. What else are you looking for?
Well, there's more of a... I've heard stories, about weapons in the mountains, things.
Which mountain?
I'm not entirely sure. It depends on who's telling it. The mountain range always changes.
All right. He sort of thinks for a few minutes, and okay, roll me a percentile.
$32.
32. All right. He goes, all right. Well, you is there anything else you remember about this sword or whatever it was?
If I remember correctly, it had a very large family, sort of brothers and sisters that were like it, but not quite.
I'm not really sure about any of that. Last really famous sword I knew about was this friend of mine, a couple of jobs back, used to swear that he ran with this rogue, cutthroat, assassin kid that, the way he told it, the guy never stepped out of the shadows, darkness just followed him everywhere, and he had this steely gaze, those kind of things.
Right, I know a guy exactly the same.
Exactly. So, to hear my buddy tell it, this guy would, if there was anything, if he was in any sort of darkness, anything dimmer than broad daylight, right? Then the night would just drain the blood from his foes. It would seep into the ground, sort of. It was this real dramatic affair. Now I asked him, I was like, well, why didn't you keep running with me? He's like, because if I did, I was worried that I'd fall asleep one night and I'd wake up without blood. I said, well, I don't think you wake up if you have no blood. And then we got into an argument about that. But that's neither here nor there. He said this kid made his way west, that he was going into the mountains for something. What did he call that thing? Night something? I don't know. Darkest night owl, tooth of the night something.
Night something.
Night something. Yeah, it was night something. And the kid was going past the warden's watch, past the warden's towers, into the far west, into the Broken Lands beyond there. So,
With the knife, or
Yeah. The kid with the knife. The night man, Night Rider, Night
Right.
Ride. Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. You know,
Are you?
they always talk about these like famous weapons and famous heroes, and I don't know. It's, you know, you dig in a hole, you stab a goblin, you grab a couple of coins, you come back up. That's as far as I've adventured. That's all it is. So I don't understand why everybody's got to have a fancy name for everything. So, you know.
You know, it adds a bit of mystery, I suppose.
Yeah.
Also, while I have you here, are you local? Are you born here?
I was born in Lickdrock. Yeah, not in Svarg. But no.
All right.
My family used to be from Blavik. And
My condolences.
oh, thank you. Bacliff. That's it. So, you know, I'm first generation nomad, but I'm sure my parents had some sort of, I don't know, history or lineage. I didn't really get to learn it.
Mind if I ask you another question about a weapon then too?
Sure.
It's slightly more local. I don't really have a name for it, but I know the family it went missing from.
Okay.
Do the Oaken Blades mean anything to you?
He sort of, you can tell
Makes a
something.
history check.
Yeah, he does. Something kind of tickles the back of his brain. Yeah, I think I remember those. There's, yeah, I think there was some. My older brother mentioned something about them, something like that. Yeah. What was that?
I will give him inspiration to remember.
Okay. He thinks about it a little harder, and he goes, yeah, you know, a lot of stuff that came out of Bacliff or other elven people about a generation back sort of ended up all over the place, and I know one of some of the things went to the Centauran allies that helped raise Bacliff. So I don't know if that's where the Oaken Blades are, but I know they got a fair cut of the spoils, you know.
Centauran, like centaurs?
Yeah. 4 horses, 4 hooves. You know, some of them said that their leaders had more hooves or more legs. I don't know. I don't think more legs makes you run faster, but you know, whatever.
Well, this has been very helpful. Thank you so much.
So you want the javelin, right?
Oh God, no! But thank you.
He sort of looks at you like, well, you're gonna pay me for everything I just told you, right?
Oh God, yeah. I'll give him 20 gold.
Okay. He seems very pleased.
Is that fair?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
It is more than fair, and he's like, well, oh yeah. What else?
And 5 gold extra for some discretion.
I think the 20 bought you discretion.
Let's make it 25. It's easier for me to count off.
Done.
Take it.
Is there anything else you guys, Sirach and Talroth, what are you guys up to?
I would have left my double-bladed sword and most of my stuff in the carts
Okay.
and just kind of gone into town, just walking around, checking things out. maybe trying to visit a little more of the shadier spots and kind of with some thieves' cants, see if maybe I can pick up some rumors or see if I can find some not so public goods.
Is there a specific good that you are looking for?
Not in particular, just more seeing what, basically just getting a feel for the town, like what kind of stuff would they have in this part of the world that would be kind of black market for them. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there's always a black market for magic arms and armor, those sorts of things. You get the feeling that whatever is illegal, it's more illegal because they're stealing it off somebody that has to pass over the gate, or through the bridge, and so it's a lot of quick fence jobs, or it's a lot of specific, like if you are looking for X, they'll sort of sift through all the travelers and try to find it for you.
Gotcha. So if they don't have it, they'll find it off the back of a truck in a day or two.
Right, either that or it's not in the city. But if you pay enough, they'll keep an eye out, and if it ever comes through, they'll grab it for you. That's sort of their modus operandi. You do get a roll me a d20.
Am I adding anything to it or just flat roll?
Just a flat roll, please.
7.
7. Okay. There is there's a name that sort of crosses your path. It is Lord Lennel Klein. Whenever you start...
sorry, how is that spelled?
Lenel, Lennel Klein, Clyne, Lennel Klein. He, whenever you're sort of thief canting around about the teeth, that name comes up. Like you want to talk to him or look into him.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely. Sorry, choked on a beard hair.
You're good.
Yeah, I'll hang on to that name for a second, or at least for now. And yeah, just kind of still spend the day just getting the feel for the town, seeing what they have, just acclimating, and then I'll eventually meet up with everybody.
Okay. So, Rock, is there anything special you are up to?
Yeah, actually. I'm gonna get a little bit lost towards what would be like considered some of the like richer ends.
Okay.
And when I feel I'm slightly is there anywhere that seems like really like a really like nice imposing building, or like a building of some repute maybe?
Make an investigation check for me.
Ooh, that's not bad. That is 17 plus 1, 18.
18. So, the largest estates or manors, right? The sort of oldest ones are on the main street. I would say the most opulent ones are on the north side of the bridge near the river. They're essentially riverfront properties that have some of them have like little docks or boats moored, and there's I guess whatever the river version of a regatta is, or a I don't know. Regatta's like a train of boats, a place where boats are kept.
Yeah. It's the row homes in Philadelphia.
Sure. Yeah. So those are probably the biggest. I'd say there's maybe a handful, a dozen at most, of like 3-story manors. None of these places are have a lot of like land to them. Everything's been kind of built up around them. But these places are walled and have like gates in front of their community. So.
Cool. I'm gonna just cast Detect Portal.
Okay. Roll me a percentile.
Oh, that's a number. Did I say that? I meant I'm casting Channel Divinity, because I rolled a 4.
4. Okay. There are no portals that are active. I will say that your sense is that either planar travel or summonings happen here in this neighborhood, but they are nothing that is consistently open, and nothing that is currently open, right? So I don't think anybody's like has a gate spell or anything like that open, but you get the feeling that within the past week there's probably been either a summoning or a plane shift or something like that.
Okay, just for future reference, I gained the ability to magic sense the presence of a planar portal.
And so the flat answer to that is no.
No.
But I'm trying to give you more information.
Okay. I didn't want you to be like, this is the information he should be getting, and I'm like, okay, you are giving me more information than I technically should be getting. I'm happy about it, but I just wanted to make sure.
I appreciate it. No, thank you for double checking. Yeah, I love the planar warrior, and I appreciate the searching for planar portals. They're not always around, but I do think if you're sensing that you know, detecting the residue of a portal that has been used or of a summoning isn't so far off. So.
Okay, cool. So nothing's happening currently, but in this area, something has happened before.
Yeah, you I will say you identify maybe what's the range on that ability?
1 mile.
1 mile. Okay. So I'll say
I get direction and within 1 mile.
Okay, I'll say you identify like 3 houses that you suspect mages, spellcasters, or I don't know, occult figures of enough skill to open planar portals live.
Okay. I'm just gonna jot those down and be on my way.
Cool. Will you guys gather back up at Gaffrin's Hold? Is there anything you guys would like to do before we call it a night?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to call it a night here. I had a wonderful game. Hope you all did too. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we say goodnight? Nope. I think we're good. All right, guys, we're going to see you guys later. Keep up with the social medias to see what schedules and what shows we have coming down the pike. We are going to talk to you guys next time. But until then, be cool.